Good day, everyone. Today I am going to discuss the new topic, Lesson 14, which is the care for the environment. For you, how will you take care of the environment? But before that, in this topic, we're going to understand the duties and responsibilities of human to nature and the relationship of animals to nature. Humankind is called to be the steward or caretakers of creation. As stewards, all human beings are reminded by God to take care of the environment in which they live of that is suited to their dignity as created in God's image and likeness. Humans are caretakers of the environment and they are responsible for the environment. And we as humans should take control of the environment and not the environment taking control of humans. To Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, humankind's sense of responsibility for the environment is rooted in one's respect for oneself. If you have respect to yourself and fellow men, know that each person also needs a clean and peaceful environment to live in just like you. An environment should be surrounded by God's beautiful creations such as the fruits, vegetables, clean water, trees, and many more. And the best attitude that we can ensure is that we fulfill our duties and responsibilities as caretakers to take care of the gift from God. Now let's proceed to the next topic, which is the man versus wild. Rights are what we call those that one deserves by virtue of one's dignity as a human person. It must be clear that only creatures who have free will have rights. Every human have rights. For every right, there are duties and responsibilities afterwards. This is our right to take care of the environment by our own will, and thus having this right must be bound with duties and responsibilities. What are these? You have the right to drink clean water, breathe fresh air, to have shelter, food, and clothing. For example, we as humans, we have the right to education, and this is based on our own dignity to develop our intellectual capacity. It is similar to the human rights to nature. Next is the animal and nature right. Animal rights activists claim that all animals have rights, and as stewards of creation, we do not kill or torture animals at will. We still have to take care of them as they are gifts of God to us. We should not take care of them on the basis that they have rights. All animals have rights too. We should not kill them. We still have to take care of them as they are gifts from God. They have the right to live in their environment we are living right now. Though there are animals that we kill to eat, but the thought that some animals has the right to live peacefully in the environment because they also help the environment. However, the right they have is not the same with the right we had as a human being. Animal right does not have free will than humans. Now, let's proceed to the duties to nature. Human beings legitimately exercise a responsible stewardship over nature in order to protect, to enjoy its fruits, and to cultivate it in new ways. With the assistance of advanced technologies, it can worthily accommodate and feed the world's population. As a human beings, we cannot live without the environment. Environments serve as our supplier for our basic needs such as food, water, and etc. That is the reason why God gave us nature intended for us because it is useful to us, but in return we should take care of it for the next generation to come. So what are those duties that we need to know for our environment? First is performing. This is one of the duties that we need to perform. Performing little gestures such as throwing garbage in the right trash bins, stopping someone who unnecessarily steps on plants, planting trees, reduce water consumption, and use papers instead of plastic bags on groceries or supermarket. It might help our environment to be a clean and green environment for everyone. It is our great responsibility as humankind to really take good care of the environment because this is the only way we can give back the gratefulness of God. Next is the industrialization and nature. Development is something positive because it is a sign of human beings' capacity to co-create with God as long as human creations are not abusing or destroying nature in its process. They aid in development. Nowadays, there are many new infrastructures and new areas who switch to industrialization. Why industrialization or development become positive? It is that as long as human does not abusing or destroying the nature, it is acceptable, but if it leads to destruction, especially to animals and other human beings, it will become negative. As we can observe right now, some remote areas were developed to a new building without knowing what really is the effect to the environment. That's why landslide, typhoons, and such happens to place of lesser trees. Always remember that if you develop one place, always replace what you have lost. Let's proceed to the valuing a virtue. Sobriety, someone who is known to be serious and responsible, is a legitimate virtue that places the person's intellect over his emotion. It is a sign of intelligence and should not be taken as an offense. A sober person is a responsible person. Why? Because he or she can think before she acts, and that's becoming a more responsible person. It's just the same when you are drinking alcohol, and if you think that you are sober enough, you will stop drinking because you are thinking on how will you go back home or who will you be accompanied with when you go home. You're responsible of yourself to be safety. Just like the nature, the environment and the world needs a sober people. Next is temperance, the ability to control oneself either in terms of appetite, anger, drinking, spending, or even talking, means that human virtues require the practice of temperance. This is one of the four cardinal virtues. As a cardinal virtue, many are hinged on temperance. This means that human virtues require the practice of temperance. Temperance allows us to consume foods, drink, and other stuffs with right amount. Just like the nature, we should consume natural resources according to what is the amount we need. Learn the not too much and not too lesser. It should be balanced. Another is, if your mother prepares you so much food and you throw it or not finish it, they will remind you that pagkaon diha kay daghan mga bata nga walay ginakauntaran. We should learn to control ourselves in getting things we had in too much. We should always think of the others too. Generosity, someone who can give even those things they need. A generous person will not abuse nature because he will only use what he needs at times. Generosity is not just about giving what we don't need. A generous person can give someone things even if they need it. Just like our nature, we should be generous by planting trees even if it is not a tree planting program. We should act with kindness to our nature. Next is the uplifting realization. Natural resources is not infinite nor they are limited. If we continue to abuse our nature, there are tendencies that we as human will be affected of it. Not only us but all the creation of God. To remind us how we can be better co-creation or co-creators of God. Here are some statements that will help us in taking care of the environment. So first is that keep calm and subdue the earth. Train yourself to be calm at all costs. Do not panic. By being calm, we understand and know that there are some people who also need resources and supplies just like us. Just like what happened when pandemic hit, the panic buying. It leads to shortage of supply and not everyone has the chance to have unequal supplies because of hoarding too many supplies, and this leads to shortage of food supply. Next is the Save the Earth, one little deed at a time. In order to make changes in the environment, here are some little ways that we should do to help the environment. Unplugging appliances which are not used can help conserve the energy supply. Use water according to what you need. Reduce water consumption to avoid shortage. Picking garbage in the street, even if it is not yours, would help the environment to be clean. And you, as a student, you can make a big difference and changes to our environment if you will perform your duties and responsibilities as a steward of creation. And next is the clean and green. Having a clean and green environment involves a safe place to live, away to pollution, and using recyclable materials would help too, not allowing the use of plastic bags in some groceries and use solar light to reduce electric consumption. And that's all. I hope you realize something on what we have discussed today. That's all. Thank you.